Time to get our HD Nation on. Get a magnifying glass or a loop, or just press your face to the screen. If you look close enough, a magnifying glass really helps. You'll actually see red, green, and blue. The pixels, those are the three colors you need to make color video, whether you're working on an old janky 19-inch standard def television you got from mom, or a $3,000 30-inch computer monitor, or a 55-inch HD TV. Or is it? Sharp's added a yellow pixel to their latest LCD flat panel HDTVs. Mr. Heron, is the yellow pixel the Quatron technology? Is this like 21st century advancement for, like, you know, moving pixels into the future, or is it marketing meh?
I would say mostly marketing meh. You do not suddenly need another pixel in order to create something that, you know, isn't part of the video signal to begin with.
Right.
Let's say that a properly tuned TV should be able to display all the colors that are within that video signal. Let alone, there is an advantage, though, one advantage I can think of having something like an additional yellow pixel like they have in the new Sharp TVs, and that's to simply put out more light. And for the new 3D TVs they have coming up, there might be an advantage there. But in the case of this baby, the 52-inch LC-52LE820UN, the 820UN series, you call it, from Sharp, we're talking 120 hertz display technology, 52-inch screen size, 1080p resolution, internet-enabled features, all for about $1,600 online. This is edge-lit technology, LCD technology, which means it's pretty thin depth-wise. I'd say less than 2 inches, which is pretty nice. It also features that unique 4-color sub-pixel system that Pat just described. You know what? The slim depth is nice in this set too, and it includes a pretty slick-looking glass base stand. However, this connection on the
joint between the television. I can't decide if they did that because they felt it would like absorb shock in case your kid hucked a tennis ball at it, or if it's just a cheap joint.
There is some flexibility there, and at least it's flexing on the base stand itself.
No, there is some flexibility in the frame of my truck. This is well beyond some flexibility.
That is not the, I'd prefer if it didn't. It'd be nice if it were a little more rigid. However, it is a swivel stand as well, so you've got that full action, which is nice. Gives you a little extra options. If it were me, though, I'd be looking seriously at mounting this on a wall mount of some kind. Anyway, the quality and selection of applications on this TV, this is an internet-enabled TV. They call them widgets, is Sharp's term for it. It's nowhere close to the level of companies such as Samsung and Vizio that are providing, that they provide with their net-connected TVs. The widgets on this set, and I can even pop some of them up so you can take a look at it in the Aquos net. One press of the button gives you a, if I get the remote right, dun-dun-dun-dun, a little menu over here. Another press will expand it to half the screen. Let me pop that up. And then you get half video. And if I do it one more time, it'll go full screen.
Well, eventually you'll get half video.
Eventually. Well, as it fills up, as it's pulling from the net, the various items. I'll just say that the widgets overall, hopefully when it loads here, we'll see. The design overall appears that engineers did it, really, instead of usability experts. The browser controls, on-screen keyboard, some of the menu labels, and it all seems to lack a little graphical polish that you get from the other manufacturers I mentioned.
And speed.
There's almost a command line feel to some of this too in terms of how it works.
Right.
And overall, the widget content itself was, I have to say, a fairly poor quality and selection. One in particular, they include something I always like to see is like a screensaver type program where you can show off some artwork and stuff. I've seen this on other TVs and it looks really good.
Basically, you have a collection of your own pictures and it scrolls them and slides.
Well, this one actually has a program built into that'll pull famous artwork and other well-known images off the net.
Cool.
A nice supply of information. However, all of the photos and all of the imagery that they present on this TV are less than standard definition quality. It looked terrible. So it's a feature I wouldn't even bother using. However, if you hook up, like you mentioned, you hook up your own photographs with a USB key or through your network, that would look a lot better. It looks pretty good. Performance-wise, the 820UN's video processing prowess, solid. It was very good at de-interlacing video content, that's interlaced. Also, it was good at handling challenging video streams, like those that contain odd edits or transitions. You get that with some content that's been taken from cinema to TV. Color-wise, well, everything was oversaturated, which is great for grabbing your attention in the store, but not so great for producing an accurate video picture.
It was oversaturated because of the extra yellow pixel blowing out more light, or?
Everything except red measured oversaturated. There was too much. It was too colorful. compared to how the original video should be represented. Now, some people actually prefer that look. They like to see punchy colors and things like that. Is it accurate video representation? No, and that's what I'm saying there. Yellow in particular was crazy. It was shifted a little too red. It was orangish. And when I used the TV's built-in controls, I found them to be completely ineffective at getting it anywhere close to where it should have been. Ooh. Now, the bottom line really is that I wouldn't complain if somebody gave me this TV for free, but for the video purists, myself included, I basically am telling myself to take that $1,600 and spend it elsewhere for technology that would suit you better. Especially for the whole internet-connected TV thing / the price point, yeah, I'm looking around. Especially, so I wanted better color controls. That's what I really wanted.
Color controls won't let you correct the color problems.
It's an every TV is going to be usually oversaturated in its default mode. But when I turn it to like its movie mode, or I turn it to, especially the movie mode, I expect that to be fairly close to standards. And it wasn't, and the controls didn't allow me to correct that the way I wanted to. I will say, however, that the controls did work fairly well for balancing red, blue, and green for the white balance.
Okay.
But that was about it. The main set of controls they gave you for color management in terms of desaturating or moving the point around, completely ineffective. And it has been for a number of years.
Do you think Sharp went with the yellow pixel because they were having trouble getting their edge lighting bright enough to deal with 3D? Or is it just something where they wanted to stand out from the crowd?
I'd say that's the #1 reason. And it is an effective way to do it. If you put this TV in the store in its default mode next to other TVs, this TV shines. It's just like, wow, that grabs my attention like nothing else around it. However, once you sit down and you get in a controlled environment with a properly dialed in display, boom, things
Thumbs
change.
down, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs down. I'm sorry, Sharp. Blu-ray releases?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, it's time for the new Blu-ray releases for the week of November 30th, 2010. First up, The Wiz, a film adaptation of the 1975 Broadway retelling of The Wizard of Oz. The Wiz motion picture features a more contemporary urban setting with a distinctly Motown aesthetic, featuring Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Lena Horne, and Richard Pryor. The picture quality is outstanding. The Blu-ray offers the cleanest and sharpest version of the movie available ever for home video. Although there are some issues with the muted color and infrequent picture softness, we chalk that up to camera direction and lighting rather than any real technical problems. The audio track was more of a mixed bag. While the audio fidelity is impeccable, the problem is with converting the original Dolby Stereo to a 5.1 mix. The practice of placing vocals in the center channels during some musical routines made for an awkward listening experience, and the uneven use of the rear channels was disappointing. Although the movie is less than memorable for its cinematography and script, it does make up for it with incredible musical numbers. Although there are plenty of motion picture takes on The Wizard of Oz, none save the MGM version can compete with The Wiz in musical talent. Next up, Meet the Parents. Ben Stiller teams up with the director of the Austin Powers films to bring you this awkward family comedy about meeting the in-laws. And when I say family comedy, that's because it's about family, not because it's suitable for the little ones, because it's not. Ben Stiller's usual off-color sense of humor really comes out here. And this time he has Robert De Niro, who actually was nominated for a Golden Globe for his performance, to play off of. And if you finish the movie and still want more, good news, because the sequel, Meet the Fockers, is being released this week as well. This one takes it further as both pairs of in-laws want to meet each other. So the extremely strict ex-CIA agent played by De Niro meets the hippie parents played by Barbra Streisand and Dustin Hoffman. And to round it out, both Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers come with a $10 voucher to see Little Fockers in the theaters when it comes out on December 22nd. Also released this week, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's available either as a 2-disc Blu-ray DVD combo, or for $5 more you can get it as a 3-disc combo that includes a digital copy as well. From the creators of National Treasure, we've got Nicolas Cage as a modern-day sorcerer who takes on a protege and mentors him in the ways of the magical. While it's based on the Mickey Mouse sequence in the 1940 Disney film Fantasia, you wouldn't even know it except for one scene which frankly feels a bit forced. Speaking of Fantasia, that's also on our list of releases this week, Fantasia plus Fantasia 2000. Other releases include Going the Distance, Killzone, Night and Day as a 2-disc Blu-ray plus DVD holiday combo pack, or for $5 more, Night and Day 3-disc Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack. Space 1999, the complete Season 1, Vampires Suck, and starting December 1st, 2010, Avatar 3D is available exclusively bundled with Panasonic 3D HDTVs. And if you've already bought a Panasonic 3D TV, don't worry, you still qualify to get the disc as long as you have your receipt. Just mail it in and Panasonic will ship you a copy directly. Just look for the disc request form on the Panasonic website or check our show notes for the link.